Hi there, this is Chris from MoneyHub, and this video overviews the best bank accounts available in New Zealand. Many people ask us, what is the best bank account? The answer for most people is going to be something that they can use for direct debits, for automatic payments, but at the same time, we've put together this guide to reveal everything you need to know, compare all the options that are currently available in the market, as well as just give some general tips. So, as a background, we've done this little summary here. What is the best bank account, or what should you be looking at? We like bank accounts which don't have a monthly account fee. Gone are the days where most of the banks charge those. Some still do, not many. And it's such a great thing now because it used to be $5, $10 a month for pretty much nothing, just having a bank account, but then the bank would make money off you from something else anyway. So now that's gone. You will still have to pay for most of the banks like an annual $10 debit card fee. That doesn't seem to be something that they're keen to drop, but that's just, that's the situation right now, so we might see that change. We also like bank accounts which give free unlimited transactions with your debit or FPOS card. So gone are the days where you'd used to have 20 free transactions per month, or say 50 now, and then after that you'd pay 20 cents or like some charge per transaction. That's all gone. We like bank accounts which have free setups and processing of automatic payments, direct debits and credits, so everything like that. Plus, we like bank accounts with free apps and also very useful apps and phone banking as well. So just as a general overview, we've got our list here. So we look at Heartland, we look at TSB, we look at Kiwibank, we look at Westpac, we look at ANZ, we look at ASB, we look at BNZ, as well as we look at SBS, the Southern Building Society. We've also profiled the Wise account. This is not a bank account per se, it's known as an electronic money account, but it's something that's been around in New Zealand for 3 years, and it came to challenge the banks with their large margins on overseas foreign currency purchases or transactions. So normally, say if I buy something for $100 from Australia, the banks will charge, if I use my debit card or a credit card, normally between 1% and 3%. So if you're buying something, like it may be 2.5%. So for $100, you're paying $2.50 for the fee, plus you're getting the bank exchange rate. We don't love that. That's always been a bit of a sore point. And so Wise has come, they've seen this opportunity to, everybody can get market rates plus a small commission compared to what the banks charge. So this card, it is a money account card. So you top it up from your bank account. You can download the app. You can use it within New Zealand. You won't pay any fees for that when purchases that you make, and then you can track it all on your app as well. It's far more innovative than the banks currently, like what they serve up as apps. So it's very much, if you're making a purchase online, it'll ask you to approve it. It'll pop up. It feels like 3, 4, 5 years ahead. So I use it personally, which I'll outline it in a second. But it is something that I wanted to share because it is quite a good product for, going overseas. People are liking it. Like after COVID, people now moving around, and something that would otherwise be kind of annoying and seeing the bank charges rack up, can be avoided with this. Heartland as well, they don't offer, just as a background, whilst we've said that we really like them, they don't offer, like a card which you can use overseas. They use an FPOS card. Just, so there are always limitations with doing that. So be aware that, when you are looking for a bank account, make sure that the card is able to be used overseas, or you can use it online, because increasingly that is, the situation. That does sound obvious, but for some people, it's just good keeping in mind. So to help explain exactly how you can use more than one bank account to maximize your money and minimize your costs, then I'm just gonna do a quick overview of what I do. So like starting off here, like my day to day is with Kiwibank. That's just because I like that account, but everyone will have their own preference between them, between the big banks. They all offer a similar thing, so it just really comes down to what's your personal preference. Then for money, that's going to be sitting in the bank account for a while. With inflation, what it is, and with interest rates, what they are, then because these free bank accounts don't pay anything, I put some money over into Heartland. That's just my, personal preference. Then also for overseas transactions or just to having a secondary debit card to be able to use, use an app which blocks it if you lose it or anything like that, just a bit of extra security. Plus also, if I do travel overseas, then I do have that Wise debit card, and I've described in this little summary like why that has worked for me. So while we've profiled these Heartland and Wise accounts here, many people may not have the need for an interest earning account or a foreign currency or a sort of app-based debit card. That's totally fine. We just wanted to list out all the options. We've also got options for people that often use overdraft. So this is good keeping in mind because at the moment, there's a big spread on the interest charges from the banks. They tend to go up into the high sort of teens, and some of them are even over 20%, which we find really outrageous. We know it's like unsecured debt, but at the same time, as a banking customer, that is quite frustrating. So if you do find yourself in overdraft, often or once in a while, then the Heartland, they do lead the overdraft charges with a 10% flat, and we think that's quite a reasonable rate. It's certainly, as I said, much lower than everybody else. So that's good to keep in mind. Lastly, we've looked at 5 must-know tips when choosing a new bank account. So we know that since COVID, branches have kind of been less relied on, and more things have gone online. Also, checks have stopped being issued or stopped being written. But these are also quite useful just to sort of be aware of. Do look at the overdraft fees. We're also very cautious of the insurance products that are offered by banks. Now, yeah, there's nothing wrong with them per se. It's just that, value for money, you should always compare because we know that it's very easy to be signed up to products, over the counter, and sometimes it may not be the best for you, and it's always like wise to just look at all your options and make sure you're getting the right deal. So with all that being said, please let us know if you have any questions. You can list them down below. We've answered some frequently asked questions, but we want you to just go through the guide, really look at what you need, and make the sort of right decision based on your day to day spending and plus your day to day needs. Thanks very much for watching.